Good evening, and welcome to the Day 3 Guys podcast. We are thrilled to have you.
Welcome back to the Day 3 Guys podcast. I'm Gabe, that's Nick, that's Matt, that's JP, and we are the Day 3 Guys. Fellas, we excited to be back?
We are. We're excited.
Me too, baby.
We're back. We are back.
Yeah, today's episode, we're going to go over our agenda update. As always, we'll follow that with some Week 2 preseason updates. We have some stuff that went on this week around the league, so definitely update y'all on our thoughts regarding those things. We'll follow that up with some college football projections for the year. The boys can tap into some college football, most of us.
Yeah.
You ready for college football?
I mean,
We'll get around to it. He's got the U going. We're going to do some of that. We're actually going to give our college football playoff projections, our 12-team playoff. We're going to give y'all Final Four, and then our champion and our Heisman winner. So we'll get into that, and then we'll actually follow that up with some fantasy football advice. A lot of us play fantasy football here at a high level. Some play at a higher level than others. Would we agree?
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Quiet brag.
The record speaks for itself. 2-time champ. League's been running 3 years. 14 guys.
Fraud commission.
Commissioner doesn't
Leverage
seem
his
to.
power to make a trade.
Whatever. We're gonna go over some fantasy football advice, and then of course we're gonna see if Mr. Relevant hits a ball in the hour.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm 5-1 right now. I'm in a really
5-1.
good spot right now. I feel
Hot
good.
start.
So a really good start for
100%.
Mr. Relevant. I hope you guys like this episode. I want you guys to like and subscribe.
Comment. Interact with the socials, y'all. Like, we need a new set, too. Like, new fresh coat of paint on this whole thing. I'm really
That's a
excited.
flag. Just
Oh, yeah.
quick
Yeah,
shout out.
Some new additions, a new setup. We heard the comments. We have a new setup. We hope that you guys like it.
A lot of feedback coming in on the socials.
Yeah, we
So,
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we hope that you guys like the new setup. Please comment down below if you guys think we should do anything else. We don't really have a lot to work with right now. We're still in the nitty-gritty of this all. But hopefully this will be a higher quality episode this week, and it's only up from here, huh, fellas?
Oh, absolutely. The upgrades are big.
Mm-hmm.
Taking on. Taking on.
little improvement every week. A little bit of improvement. So,
Yeah, we need you guys to interact with those reels on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We're going to try to get this podcast big.
Shout out social media manager Matt.
Mr.
we're
Relevant.
We're pushing the reels every week. We're going to try to get you all good content, stuff that you can interact with. That only helps us. So we would really appreciate it if, y'all helped us out with that. So
Absolutely. How's it been going, guys? I mean, we haven't really even gotten to sit down with each other in a while.
I know we have a lot of live reactions. We're gonna be telling each other things that we first heard.
I think we purposely don't talk about it just so that we can sit here and really yap about it. So
No, I just want to give the viewers an authentic experience.
exactly.
With that being said, you want to hop into the agenda?
Let's do it.
I'm in. JP, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll talk about the Finns. Waddle didn't play. He's my guy. He didn't play because of the preseason game. We actually only started two of the starters, and they were both the rookies, Savai and I, and Kenneth Grant. We did win. Ethan Robinson, shout out, pick to seal the game. That was big. Probably won't make the team, but hey, he lived his moment. He got his dream. But we probably since the last time we talked, I guess the biggest thing that's happened is we signed Matthew Judon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will the red sleeves work in a Miami Dolphins uniform? We'd have to have orange sleeves.
I hope they're orange. That'd be awesome. Green? No, the orange.
No, the orange.
Especially when we have the throwback jerseys on. We got the. Oh, that'd be lit.
Very interesting.
No, but so Matthew Judon coming to Miami. There's a couple different theories that could be. One is that either Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips.
This is Steve Tasker, sideline reporter for the Super Bowl 47. If you're expecting to hear our friend Jim Nantz, there may be a moment before he gets on. Half the power in New Orleans Stadium, the Superdome here, is out. In almost a perfect semicircle of the lights, half the stadium stayed light, half of it went out. The scoreboard is also not working as well. And here's what happened.
After some technical difficulties and the lights going out are great. JP was cut off from talking about his precious fins, so please take it away.
Yeah, so I don't really remember where I was, but I was talking about Matthew Judon, which is the biggest news that has come out from the Fins since we last talked. So hopefully he will wear the orange sleeves. That would be lit and like super cool. But there are two different theories for this signing. One theory is that Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips both might have an injury that might keep them out longer than what the Dolphins are willing to say, or that could nag on for a little bit. But the other theory is that we could trade one of them here in the next 7 to 10 days for a corner worthy of starting. Which honestly, like, Bradley Chubb, I mean, he's old. We probably wouldn't get a lot for him, but we would get someone who would fill out our corner room and also start. He'd be our one. Like, he'd be our cornerback one. It's not, whoever we get or Storm Duck. So, but
Storm, baby.
Which big fan of Storm Duck. Great name. So yeah, there's a couple other theories, but I don't think those are even relevant. So, but if nothing happens and we have Judon, good for us. Look at what he did last year in Atlanta when he had to start 15 games. He had to start in Atlanta. Miami, he's just riding the bench. He'll come in on 3rd and long, get to rush the passer. They'll have more juice going. He's 33, so we don't want to give him too many snaps. Maybe like 10, 15 a game.
Mm-hmm.
Just rush the passer.
I hear that. Yeah, or you could package Tyreek Hill with Chubb. That can get her.
We're not gonna the Tyreek deal. We'll have to figure out how he's doing about halfway through the season before I'll say trade Tyreek.
He'll probably be gone by week 8.
Is there a Chop Robinson update?
Chop's fine. Yeah. So there were multiple. He got carted off. I think it was day 2 of joint practice with the Lions. But there were obviously when a cart comes out, you immediately think knee, which is the worst case scenario. Then a lot of the reporters were saying he was holding his arm. And then it came out that he actually hurt his ribs, and he was back to practice the next day. So the cart was just solely precautionary.
So basically, he's in shambles right now. He has a lot of different things hurting right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And Judon coming in.
and Judon. But I mean, Judon.
That could be good for him, though.
Yeah, vet to learn from.
Can respect Matthew Judon. He was a really good Patriot.
Now he defends. And also, Chris Greer wanted Matthew Judon last year before the Falcons gave the Patriots a better offer.
Mm-hmm.
And Judon has history with Anthony Weaver, RDC, from when he was with the Ravens. So it's just a good fit.
Yeah.
I think.
So vibes up.
Yeah,
for Fins.
vibes are up. Good.
Did they win their preseason game?
We did.
I think you were talking about that.
Yeah, Ethan Robinson sealed the game, got the pick. So
Interesting. Do you think that would be the one of the many wins this year, or no?
hopefully.
Okay. That's good. Well, how are the Steelers doing?
You know, the Steelers played the Buccaneers on Saturday night. They looked okay. Not as good as the first preseason game. They looked really good against the Jags in week 1. Week 2 took a little bit of a setback. But as far as the agenda, the O-line, I'm very encouraged. I'm starting to have some dangerous takes about the Steelers team, and it's really because of Broderick Jones actually looking like a real offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
The concern with the Steelers has and probably will be this offensive line, but especially Broderick, because he's still our youngest player despite being drafted in 23, I believe. But he looked great, anchored against Yaya Diaby really well. Great hand usage, which is usually not what we're saying about Broderick Jones. It's usually terrible technique. He puts his head down and gets run over. So encouraged there. He's healthy. O-line is healthy. That's huge. Troy Faltanu looks like an all-pro.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say it. The guy has locked down Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines-Allen, Diaby, other edge rushers for the Bucks. Guy looks like a stud, so very encouraged there. Defense, Cole Holcomb. I got to talk about him. Guy got injured 2 years ago, blew out his knee on Thursday Night Football. Very sad. But he's come back and he looks great. Looks like he hasn't lost his setup. Really good in coverage, coming downhill on the run. So encouraged there, encouraged about our inside linebackers. Other than that, that was a pretty boring game, honestly. Bench players got in there pretty early. Skylar Thompson, not quite the master class that he had in week 1. But he still looked decent. Logan Woodside will be cut tomorrow. The guy threw to the flat on 4th and 9. That'll get you cut. Good thing maybe Will Howard coming back. But encouraged by the O-line. That was the takeaway from the Bucs game. So liking what we're seeing there.
So just another boring Steelers game.
You could say that. Yeah, you could. It was very much a Steelers game. Yeah.
How was that old Caleb Johnson?
Caleb got so much better. So he struggled at the beginning, which my concern with Caleb is he's super high cut and he runs high like Derrick Henry, but he's not Derrick Henry yet. So he struggles with the ankle tackles and getting going because if he doesn't get downhill, he's not really going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he got downhill on several runs, had a few nice cutbacks, 15-yard run, 10-yard run. He looked really good. Looked quick, looked powerful.
Matt's taking notes. He's quoting you.
Well, yeah, I will be.
Well, no, I have to take notes for.
I didn't say
editing
Derrick
purposes.
Henry. No, probably will be, but that's a story for a different time. I still think Warren's going to be RB1 for a long time just because of the pass pro and what he offers in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, love what I'm seeing from Caleb week 2. Huge improvement.
Sounds like the Steelers and playing some Steelers football.
I'm excited, man. They look pretty good.
Good. Matt, what do you think about those Vikings this week? I know we had a
Yeah, so obviously Patriots, Vikings. We had a joint practice. I think what was it, Thursday, Wednesday? Yeah. And then so then we had a game on Saturday, and look, we did not come out super hot. We didn't have McCarthy in. Obviously, we weren't playing almost any of our starters. And so, of course, the Patriots going to win over, the twos of Vikings. They would use that as a win, so they can have it. But, watching Garrett Bradbury get run over constantly in US Bank Stadium was a great part of my Saturday viewing of that game. It was good. I mean, we showed flashes at the end of the game. Brosmer came out, and he drove us down the field, and we were one play away from scoring a touchdown, and
we thought that they did it.
Yeah,
We didn't remember watching it live.
Yeah.
We thought that.
So that was exciting. I mean, look, Sam Howell sucks. He's not good.
Was he not big on Sam Howell last week?
Well, the agenda's changed.
The agenda's totally changed. I mean, he had this one play, and I'm gonna edit this in. He just sees, I don't know what he sees down the field, but he just decides that Jettis is down there somewhere, but mind you, Jettis isn't in the game. So he just throws it down there, and then it gets picked off on his 4th or 5th play of the game. So.
Dare I say it was pre-Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold-esque.
Yes, and obviously Howell hasn't been in the O'Connell ecosystem long enough, unlike a guy like Dan Jones, who we'll talk about later. But I'm excited. I don't see this game as a make or break. I don't think it shows anything about the team coming into the season, but it's good. I mean, it's good. I mean, I think Brosmer showed that he could be the 2 over Sam Howell, in my opinion, and I'm excited. So,
would you be comfortable with a Max Brosmer takeover in the event that JJ McCarthy? God forbid gets hurt.
So I was made aware that he's a hometown guy. He went to Minnesota, and so
Golden Gopher.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not. Look, obviously, no one wants McCarthy to get injured. That's the last thing we want.
Again.
But if things were to happen, then I hadn't seen enough of him, but it's a good story.
It might be calling up the Indianapolis Colts for Anthony Richardson.
We'll get into that.
Well, I've seen smoke on my X feed about us. Yes, I've seen smoke. Yeah, there's a lot of buzz about
We're already looking for quarterback replacement.
No, we're not. People are saying, well, okay, we're not ditching McCarthy. No trouble. The only trouble in Minnesota is driving, apparently, because of that, and that's another issue. 3-game suspension. We're gonna have to look for some. And aside from the male cheerleaders, that's another thing. Maybe there is trouble in Minnesota. I realize now, maybe there is trouble in Minnesota. But I think if we stay with our on-field, if O'Connell can just get all the buzz off of them, I think it's going to be a good season. So not too bad. I mean, McCarthy did good in practice. We purposely didn't play him. There's really no point. I'm good on the Vikes right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the winning team now. The Patriots are 2-0.
Preseason one, so that's fine. Yeah.
The Patriots did take it to the Vikings in our preseason. The Patriots won, and they brought it home. We got our first road victory of the year, so that feels good. That's good for the team. We have a win victory at home and on the road. 2 weeks in. As for the Patriots, we had a lot of good things that went our way. We had some things that definitely, there's some holes that need to be fixed up. Maybe by guys that are in-house, maybe by guys in the future. But this team, there's a lot of good things, a lot of good mojo. Continues. We had a good week of practice. We did get dominated per the insiders in that last day of practice. Now, it seems it didn't translate to the game. We were able to bounce back, get a big win. A lot of the young guys did show out, had a good game. Alex Austin, who will be filling in for Christian Gonzalez right now, was able to pick off Sam Howell. And he's had an awesome camp, awesome offseason, a guy that barely made the team last year and then this year really stepped up. And he's a good cornerback for you, actually, a team. He would probably start on a lot of different teams, but that Patriots cornerback room, maybe smart, maybe not, I think so.
No.
Well, Alex Austin's pretty good, I think.
Might start for the Fins.
He probably would. I think he would start in the division. Maybe they'll trade you on back to us for Alex Austin. Maybe we'll get 2 picks too. Maybe not. But it doesn't really matter. It's not the big concern for the Patriots right now. But we're good at DB. Drake May, he had a drive. He actually had 2 drives. He played okay. I mean, there was nothing really to show for. There's no touchdowns or anything. Travion did run one in. The Travion agenda continues. He's flying up fantasy boards. And I love it. I love to see it. I'm not sure that, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction to have him going in round 5 of fantasy drafts now. And that's not because he's not a great player. I don't think he's going to be very explosive. But, Ramondre Stevenson still exists. He's going to get at least double-digit carries every game. And I also think Antonio Gibson's going to be mixing in there. So that is going to be a committing room. And I think that's good for the team. I think the Patriots are going to have a really good run game this year. The O-line, though it is bottom half of the league, is a really good run blocking O-line. And it's anchored by Will Campbell now. Will Campbell has had a great preseason. He's actually a top 5 graded tackle in the preseason for PFF. What you got? Oh, you got a point? I can have 1 point soon. Well, Will Campbell's look great. The Patriots are going to have a really good rushing attack. We're hoping that the passing attack is going to be good too, and we're hoping that some receivers are going to step up. A receiver that stepped up is undrafted free agent Evan Chisholm, who I talked about last week, and he's starting to get some buzz around the league now, and rightfully so. 6 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. He had a great game. Once again, playing his way on the 53-man roster. Another white Patriots slot receiver that will play for the team for a dozen years. I've already ordered my jersey. I haven't, but I want to. I probably will soon. Evan Chisholm is making waves across Foxborough right now, and he probably will steal a spot unless the injured reserve, little sheet comes into play from second-round pick last year, Jalen Polk. That is one of my bold, or maybe not so bold, predictions for this Patriots roster cut down that is coming soon. But we like what we're seeing. We like that we're 2-0. They say preseason doesn't matter, and it really doesn't. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, to have a winning culture and to go in with some good mojo may bode well, and we'll see if it translates in the season. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from my Patriots, and I'm glad I just goes against this little Vikings team.
Little Vikings team. That's funny.
All right. But the Vikings are good. The Vikings showed well in practice. I think they're going to be very good this year too. Their pass rush definitely ate up the Patriots in practice. Not so much in the game, which might be
fun. They're playing against the two.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do we have any reports on Will in the joint? Correct.
Will look. I mean, he won some reps, lost some reps. I think as a rookie does, he's going to learn. So I mean, obviously, I think we see a lot of rookies around the league maybe struggling a little bit. Getting acclimated when you're an offensive lineman, especially a left tackle, we're going against all the best guys in the league, and there's going to be some growing pains with that. But I have confidence in Will Campbell. I think he showed well. I think he's going to be a plus run blocker as soon as he steps foot in the NFL, an actual game, and as a pass blocker, he's going to get better and better. I think he's a great work ethic, great attitude, and definitely a guy that was worthy of the number 4 selection, in my opinion. So that's all that you can really hope for at that point. If you can be your left tackle for 10 years, then it's great. I like what I saw from them.
So coming off your comment that the preseason doesn't matter, do we have any thoughts about just around the league what happened this week in the not mattering phase of football?
I got
we got it.
on.
I think the big or what? Yeah.
Quick question about the Pats, though.
No.
So you think Chisholm makes the 53?
I did.
What receiver in there is not going to be there week 1?
I think the Patriots are going to carry 7 receivers.
Wow.
I think we're going to bring out Stephon Diggs. He's making his locks. DeMario Douglas is a lock, had a great camp, was a great offseason, and been a really good player for us in his career. Keishon Boutte, a guy that some people said was going to get cut when we went in there. People didn't think he was going to fit to the new regime. Has been playing really good, and I actually think he's going to go starting C. And another guy I think is definitely going to make it is Matt Collins. Matt Collins is a guy that when we brought him in, I wasn't quite sure. But he's showed pretty well, and he seems to have the reporters on his back. He kind of brings a good, weird. He's walking around barefoot. He's got his team all. Not his shirt all.
That was the guy from the Bills, right?
Yeah, the Bills. He brings it over, and he's going to be there. And I actually think that Chisholm and J.Ron Baker are going to be on the roster as well. And Kyle Williams as well.
Warren?
Kendrick Warren, unfortunately, I think is a prime trade candidate or cut candidate. I'm hoping the Patriots. And I love Kendrick Warren. I think that he's a great locker room guy, but and he's a good player too. But with that contract and with how many young guys that we have, that some have emerged and some have more promise and are on cheaper deals, maybe you want to see if Warren's not going to be a locked-in starter, which looks like he's not. He's been battling injuries as well. I just don't see it happening where he's going to make that roster. And unfortunately, so that's going to have to happen. I think they may trade him and maybe get a late round pick for him. Or they may have to cut him, and that stinks. But I think Polk is probably going on the IR. He's been dealing with injuries seemingly his whole career already with the Patriots. But Kyle Williams, still doing good things. He's getting off the line while he's having a hell of a lot of catches to show for it. But I think that those will come as he keeps getting open. But the Patriots could trot out 7 receivers because J.Ron Baker and Chisholm are actually good special team players too. So we know we like those guys as well in New England. That's all I got on the Patriots. So that's probably a lot.
That's good stuff.
I try to pay attention a little bit. But we got a lot of things around the league, a lot of clips that were interesting, a lot of clips that I think we haven't circulated around that are worth touching on. First of all, I want to touch on is, what a quote from Admiral Carter.
Did he eat it up?
If anybody saw that clip, you're going to run the clip?
Yeah, we're going to put it down there, but
Admiral Carter who was great in preseason game 1, and I'm not glad to watch the preseason game 2, but I saw the clip, absolutely blown up by 2 guys.
And then pile drive.
And then pile drive. And he said, and we're going to keep this clean, when they said, Abdul, what did you think about that play? He said, weak-ass Chip ate that chip like barbecue. Now did he?
But what other way is he going to react? You're a guy who just came off getting drafted. You're in your second game of the preseason. What else can you say?
I'd say you don't go on Twitter and talk about it.
Well, you have to talk about it. You have to.
And by the way, absolutely have no Carter saying I had to stay alone.
Yeah.
And he's got a great. And the guy's gonna be set. But we gotta be better than that.
Yeah,
we gotta take that one.
I disagree. I think this just brings more media to him. It just gives him a drive.
I probably cannot disagree more.
Well, look, I think that he comes out, he has this happen to him, and look, this is the NFL. It's it's a sport, but it's entertainment at the same time. Now he's got something he can feed off of during the regular season. If the Jets, want to talk, and people on social media want to chirp at him, I say you can chirp.
I'm just picturing Dable pulling that up in film and then being like, "Did you eat this?" I don't think he ate it at all.
He's a grown man.
Now I don't know what the right response is, but I would assume that there's more highly media trained people than me. That could probably,
He did spark a little rivalry there with the Jets, though. The win comment.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's fitting in New York pretty well.
There should be a rivalry between them.
There should be.
100%.
But they play in the same stadium. They should.
Fighting over what? Over mid. Except for the Giants. Giants are going to be good this year.
I agree.
We're going to watch episode 1. Could be mid.
could be below 500, but still fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they mid because they don't put Darden?
No,
That's actually
Dart.
We can talk about that for a long time.
No, I think Dart needs to sit. That's good.
It's rusty season.
It's rusty.
The guy threw an absolute moonball. Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait. What's the guy's name?
O. Collins.
Yes.
O. Collins, 1 catch, 80 yards.
Absolutely.
Filling in for Leak. We're going to respect O. Collins. We're also rooting for Stanford alum Montreal Washington to make that roster. Unfortunately, they do play different positions, so maybe both will make it, but we're confident that Terrell edges them out Halls and makes that roster, that 53-man roster. But, we'll see.
Shout out, Drew.
Shout out, Terrell. What else you got?
Hey,
What's up with these rookie cues, man?
I just want to talk about a couple. So obviously, last week we talked about the Browns and Shadur. This week it was the Dylan show. I mean, Gabriel was slinging it to the other team.
Yeah,
I was getting there. And also Dart. Talk about someone who's slinging it. Dart was throwing darts. I mean, he was sharp out there against the Jets. But I mean, it's the Jets. So
What do you make of that comment that Dylan made after the game about entertainers and competitors? What do you think about that?
I'm unaware of.
Yeah, Gabe can probably.
So what's funny about that is people actually didn't see the full clip. So apparently they asked him like about the whole quarterback and how they're going into the season. So it wasn't a shot at Shadur, even though it looked like one. He probably wants to take a shot at Shadur. But in my opinion, even as a hater of the Browns, I think Shadur objectively outplayed him when he was in their Panthers. Although Dylan settled in nicely. I watched that game. He started off shaky. Happy feet in the pockets are going to be a concern with him. He was bounced around everywhere. Settled in, started hitting some throws, and then he looked better. And then Pittsburgh legend Deontay Johnson just completely whiffed on a route, and that's what led to the pick. I've seen that way too many times, so I kind of feel Dylan on that one. So
I hear that.
his fall from grace.
Speaking of
Either way, does it really matter? Flacco QB1.
Yeah, good.
How long do we think Flacco keeps that job before our reigning day 3 guy of the week? Shadur Sanders takes that job, or Dylan Gabriel, or Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
Hey man.
What do we think about KP? Do we think that he stays on the roster? Do we think that they carry 4 quarterbacks and Deshaun Watson?
KP? Yeah. KP's so gone. And it looks even dumber for them having traded for him. Because realistically, let's say you bench Flacco, you think the fan base is going to be okay coming to the next home game and Kenny Pickett's the starter over the 2 rookies that he drafted? There's no realistic path for Kenny to start this year. And if it's not going to be this year, it's never. So I think Flacco's going to play decent because I think he's a vet. He fits really well in the Stefanski system. It won't matter because they're not going to be a good team, and he'll probably be benched halfway through the year, in my opinion. And that's when they'll go to Shadur and maybe Dylan. Maybe Stefanski will pull out the 50-50 snaps and just see who's better because that's what Cleveland does. But
the Cleveland Browns start out for their first 6 games. Home to the Bengals, at the Ravens, home to the Packers, at the Lions, home to the Vikings, at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then we got the Dolphins and the Patriots, which we'll see.
But they get their first 2 wins there.
Yeah. I mean, are we thinking 0-6 is a lock?
It's looking like it.
I would hate to be a Cleveland fan right now.
That was like the gauntlet, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're going through the entire freaking grit and grind of the NFC North.
But if you're ever going to play the Bengals, you want to play them week 1.
That's true.
So,
That's true. And they're at home. Now, that would look pretty bad for Joe Burrow and the gang to lose to Joe Flacco and the gang.
You all saw that video of Joe Burrow scurrying around.
I was gonna bring that up.
I think I want to bring up 2 absolute dumpster fire organizations right now.
Okay.
One, the Bengals. What are we doing? Genuinely, what are we doing? I was watching that game and I see T. Higgins and Jamar on the sideline, and you leave Burrow in.
Yeah.
The guy you paid $60 million. And not only that, he's doing 360 trick shots in the pocket, getting slung around. Dude, if I was Zach Taylor, I'd be losing my mind.
Oh.
It's like, why put him in that position?
Why is he in?
Yeah, I don't.
You've got
I didn't know that was.
take him out.
I didn't know that was the 2 line either. Because
I also have the best
Hard
quarterback in the league, Jake Brown, and who's absolute stud. I don't know, maybe a Finn in the future.
Not Finn. Finn's QB room's good. Yeah. They got Agent Zero, Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is about to be 2.
Wow.
We could have 2 rookies.
Has Zach Wilson even played?
Yeah, he played. Both games he's looked pretty shaky. But Quinn's slinging it, and Ollie Gordon could be our 2 with Devon A-Chain hurt with his calf. Yeah, that's what.
But in addition to the Bengals being an absolute dumpster fire, I'm scared for the Jets. The Jets O-line is supposed to be the thing that propels them this year. They've invested multiple first-round picks, bookend tackles. Elijah Vera Tucker's a good guard. Tittman, Simpson, the whole crew. The tape that they put out there against the Giants, oh boy. Now I know the Giants have a great front.
That's what I was going to say.
Y'all know line, I get it. But Jets got to play the Steelers week 1. And it doesn't get much easier on the front 7.
What's the better narrative? The Aaron Rodgers revenge game or the Justin Fields revenge game?
I think it's Rodgers pretty easily.
Well, underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jay Fields.
I got nothing but love for Fields, though, man. I don't think there's any bad blood there. There's definitely bad blood for Aaron.
Yeah, no, I would agree. That whole situation, how Aaron Glenn handled Aaron Rodgers.
Yikes. But that's also what I was going to bring up. Fields looked bad, too, from the Rockets. And I love Jay Fields. As a Steelers fan, I really like watching him. Great guy. Pulling for him. But at some point, the potential narrative is going to run out if you can throw the football, and he just doesn't look like he can at this moment. So I guess we'll see in the regular season, but I fear for those 2 organizations right now.
Yeah.
Another organization that we brought up, or the quarterback at least, Tyler Shuck. Oh boy, what was that? I mean, we all saw the clip.
Are we surprised?
I was about to say, he played pretty solid.
He had a low light.
Yeah.
We love to have a few low lights that are just, they stand out.
Hey, you know who reminds me of? Mac Jones. It's kind of like the Mac Jones lows of the lows. It's, dude,
That's not.
dare I say, shades of Mac then.
Yeah, yikes. That's not a good deal. Not a good deal. Well, Tyler Shuck, I've already said my thoughts on him. I just don't have high hopes for the New Orleans Saints this year, but we'll see if he pulls out. I do think they're going to start Rattler. I'll double down on that, but I guess we'll see. I don't think it's going to matter very much. Let's see, what else do we got here? Do we want to talk about Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson?
I think we got to see that.
I mean, it came out today. I feel like we have
I mean,
to.
that's fresh news.
I mean,
We are filming on Tuesdays.
For those of you that haven't heard, Daniel Jones has been announced as the Colts starter. QB battle for the ages. If I must say,
Who would've
Daniel
thought?
Jones versus AR.
Who would have
It's
thought?
like the could have been quarterback group. But Daniel Jones comes out on top. If I'm a Colts fan, I'm sick to my stomach.
I'm hurt.
Yeah.
If I'm the guy that sings before those games, I'm sick to myself. I don't know how you can. I mean, they just They just throw AR in the trash now? Is this?
Whoa.
Well,
Jeez, man.
well, I mean, that's kind of like what it looks like. No, I did not.
He said that Daniel Jones was the better fit for the team in his interview.
That was interesting, and he does trust.
Guy's a humble guy. God's man. You gotta
He'll be humble when he leaves next year, probably, and try to force a trade.
Well,
Maybe
maybe
not
not.
starting for you.
We don't know yet. We don't know. We have to see how McCarthy. I mean, I saw a video of Kevin O'Connell, and he pulled him in after a game with the Vikings, and he told him, you're a bad dude, and the organization there loves you, and you're the future of that organization. So obviously, Kevin O'Connell sees something in him. I mean, maybe the course will
Unfortunately,
see
I
it.
don't know if KOC's words are going to come true. I think AR season might officially be done.
Yeah, back on topic. I mean, I feel like it kind of switches the approach for the Colts that they're going from maybe a run first approach last year, and they're trying to implement AR, use the absolute great athlete that he is, and have Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. And now they see they have a lot of weapons out wide. You have Tyler Warren, and maybe you go to a pass first approach with Shane Steichen there. Maybe that's what he's trying to aim towards. Maybe Daniel Jones is a better option for the Colts if they are trying to air it out a little bit more. Obviously, AR hasn't really put out some good tape when he's throwing the ball, but maybe he'll just be the red zone quarterback, maybe the goal line quarterback, and maybe he'll just make a lot of Jonathan Taylor fantasy owners extremely upset.
JT should get 30 carries a game. I mean, I don't think there's any debate there. I wouldn't want Daniel Jones slinging that thing.
I mean, we're gonna see.
He picked something up in Minnesota because he's the starter now. So
Alright, that's certainly a take. I don't know.
Do we think? You know what? I don't even want
what were you gonna say?
Let's go to rookies.
Rookie fan.
What do you got?
Who's our rookie?
Well, I already talked about that Chisholm. I think he's looked good. I won't, go crazy about that, but I just have high hopes for the guy. But I think we should touch on some other guys because I don't want to bore the crowd with
We
more
could
of
get
my propaganda.
We could get Efton propaganda the rest of the pod.
Oh, we absolutely could.
Well, we were talking about earlier Dylan Gabriel and how he threw the pick six. My rookie is the guy who picked him off, Andrew Akaba,
Oh,
the safety for the
yeah. Texas.
yeah, second round. But do you just overlook him?
Sure.
Oh no.
Horns down.
Yeah. Anyway, Andrew Makaba. I just wanted to bring up the fact that the Eagles are they hitting their secondary draft picks year after
You're
year?
hitting every draft.
I mean, literally every single.
And they're taking big school guys.
We have Andrew Makaba this year. We have Quinyon. Well, Quinyon, not.
Okay, but that was.
But and then Coop. I mean, that's three like starters in the last 2 years of the draft. It's insane.
They're heading there. Well, how are we going to judge the people off of one interception in the preseason game? What's not over yet?
No, I know, but he's a great player.
But I like him.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think that's a good run back. I guess a rookie, I could say that I was just like, would be Ashton Genty just trying to run through every single person and getting stoned by a few guys, but also barreling just forward. I mean, somebody's telling them it's preseason, and they're going to give you 30 carries a game, Ashton.
Raider faithful gonna love that.
I mean, it's grit grind right there. That Boise State, he forgot he wasn't playing in the Mountain West anymore. He can't just run through every single person, every single play.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get knocked back, but when he's going to break it this year.
It doesn't matter what he does in the preseason. That boy gonna get the rock.
Yeah, he's going to get the rock. Was there a Pittsburgh Steelers player that had
Yeah, there might be. I'll go with the hometown hero, Roman Wilson.
Ooh.
I mean, he went to Michigan, not hometown hero, but homer take, Roman Wilson. The guy continues to impress. I gotta pull up the stat here. But he had 72 yards in the first quarter. Wow. Which the Steelers need Roman to be a wide receiver 2 caliber player if they want to go to the place where they want to go. So super encouraged to see him. Guy can stretch the field, crossing routes. He's almost impossible to guard because he's so fast and he's really good with his hands. Catches really well, decent after the catch, but he's looking really good. All indications out of camp is that he is capable of being wide receiver 2. So we're excited about that. Rogers speaks oddly high of him, talks about how talented he is and how much potential he has, which is kind of weird because you wouldn't think that about a third-round rookie. Not a rookie, but second-year guy.
You tend to forget about guys that get drafted and they get hurt. But I actually think Roman's going to be a very big contributor this year. But does that mean the Steelers are going to play 2 little guys?
Yep.
A lot.
A lot. So Roman, I mean, he's 5'11". The guy's not like super small, so not super big either. But Calvin's going to be wide receiver 2 to start the year. Obviously, you've probably the biggest receiver in the league, pound for pound. DK Metcalf out wide. But Roman plays bigger than his frame. He high points well, blocks really well. Effort's not a problem with him. So honestly, I'm not mad at them doing that at wide receiver 2. Gabe Davis did come in for another visit, so
I feel like I read that headline every offseason.
Yeah, but he's going back to Buffalo apparently for another visit there. Josh Allen was talking about it, so
The Bills
could be back with the
so
Bills.
many mid receivers.
Oh yeah, it's like
love
them and the Pets. They just
But who's going to, so is Roman going to play a little bit outside, do you think?
Yeah, so they've been playing him a lot outside. I think he'd be better fit in the slot. I think Calvin's going to play a lot in the slot. Roman will be split out wide. Gotten better at his releases, so that's huge if you want to play out there. And I think I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by Roman Wilson.
Matt, you have any rookies you liked?
I saw a few highlights. I really liked Colson Martin, in Chicago. I mean, I don't like too throwing to him, but I do like him. He's a late round tight end, and I think that he's going to provide good production for the.
Late round in fantasy football.
Yeah. Good catch. Yeah.
So he's tight end 1.
Yeah. No. Well, it's
Kmet
still.
in the first round. Top 10.
But yeah, no, 2 for 2, 28 receiving yards. Yeah, good game. So
They fed him against the Dolphins. I mean, he was getting a lot of passes.
I mean, he has the potential to take that Laporta role in that Ben Johnson offense and do great things with it. Some would say that was a reach at 10, but it looks like the Bears got their guy, and they're gonna use him this year.
Yeah, the Bears have an embarrassment of riches at weapon.
Yeah.
I would agree.
They got a lot of guys. Luther Burden, who we'll get to later. Roman Dunze, year 2. DJ Moore. DeAndre Swift.
Even Cole Kmet, I mean,
Kmet's still going to have a role, I think. I mean, the Lions use a ton of 12 personnel. I think he'll be in there. He'll find a role.
there'll be lots of variation in that.
You like to have that problem if you're Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got too many guys.
Especially with his offense.
Yeah,
you
you know he's going to find a way to get it to him. So I think if I'm a Bears fan, I'm encouraged to see the way that they're using Loveland and Birdman and all these guys. So I agree with you. I think it's going to.
So, Matt, besides you for fixing our light, who was our most relevant of the week?
So I've got a couple of guys this week. Maybe you guys tell me which one you prefer. And
Hold on one second. Just for the viewers that haven't seen before, Mr. Relevant of the Week is going to be a segment where, Matt, he'll be on the internet and he'll kind of find a few things, but maybe the rest of the day for you guys just aren't familiar with it. And he's going to enlighten us to that, so.
or frankly don't care about. So, but this to me, I think this is interesting. So, news is coming out of Los Angeles that QB1 over there has a new lover that's pretty popular. So
I did see this.
And this is Madison Beer apparently, and Jay Herbo have been spotted exchanging likes on Instagram. And could this be the turnaround for
Is
Herbo?
this MVP behavior?
I think this could be possibly MVP behavior out of.
Or is this like the opposite of MVP?
I will say I've always seen something out of Herbert, and these guys can attest to it. I took Herbert in the 7th round of his rookie year in our fantasy draft.
When he was a backup.
Before Tyrod Taylor was in front of him, and I took him, and everyone said, Matt, that's the stupidest pick in the 7th round ever. And I said, just wait. I don't know if someone said it, but and yeah,
I'll throw the hand up on that one. I said that.
And
and
I said,
diabolical selection.
well, yeah, no, but guess what? The doctors were doing some work on Tyrod Taylor. They accidentally punctured his lung while they were.
Do you have insider
I was about to ask, did someone call?
Oh.
I don't know, but I just knew that Herbo, that was going to be the difference. And this year, I think Madison Beer could make a big difference in Herbert's playing career. So we'll see. And then I was going to bring up the Dylan Gabriel thing before I knew it wasn't a shot at Mr. Croker timing. So
I have a thing I saw on the internet. Can you tell us about hashtag McVay lied, Stafford died?
So
what does that mean?
Apparently, reports out of the other Los Angeles team is that apparently there was a cloning process done to Matt Stafford at some point. Because I don't know I saw a picture of Matt Stafford with a ton of grass in his face, and it was that quote. I don't know. I don't have much else on that. But
What is that referring to?
I don't know. Like that. Do you know? Because I feel like you know.
I did a little.
Yeah. You did
Yeah,
yeah.
I was interested in that headline. I was insane. It was trending. So I clicked on it. I think remember when Joe Biden was not real anymore? He died. Apparently,
Here we go.
Stafford's base podcast. So we're hoping Stafford's not a clone and that he's going to be.
Well, if I was
ready
him,
for
I want to be cloned after what his wife said about him on a podcast.
Well, we don't.
So,
We're getting deep. Yeah.
sorry. So, Mr. Relevant of the Week, Herbert. I see the vision. I see the vision.
I'd be more worried about Rashawn Slater if I was Herbo, but happy for him that he's finding someone he can spend time with.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, since you're talking there, we could go into our day 3 guy of the week.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. This is a segment where they all pitch a day 3 guy to me, and it's my job to pick who I think is most attractive, and then we'll keep. Well, attractive.
Criteria?
No, attractive in the sense
I'll
of
change
like.
my pick.
Attractive in terms of a pitch. Who I think is going to do best based on what they tell me. So
Our defending champion is Mr.
perfect timing.
Perfect Timing, Shooter Sanders. He was our defending Day 3 Guy of the Week, the first ever Day 3 Guy of the Week.
Since he was your nomination, I think you should go first.
Would you like
I think it's only right.
Yeah.
Reigning champ over here.
I'm the rating Day 3 Guy of the Week nominator. So my official Day 3 Guy of the Week nomination is none other the national champion, Stetson Bennett.
Oh no.
You already
lost me.
You
already lost.
Let me get my pitch because that's.
All right, I'll hear.
I mean, the stats back it up. Mr. Bennett, he played the entire game for the Rams at quarterback. I mean, McVay just wanted to see what he had out of the older man. I was going to say the young man, but that is, I think he's in his late 20s now. But Stetson, still a day 3 guy nonetheless. He came and played the whole game, and he went 28 for 40 for 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that includes the game-winning touchdown with 5 seconds remaining to Drew Edwards. Let's see who they play.
I mean, he's a gamer.
I mean, he wins big games, including preseason big games. He scores it when the biggest wins. He gets a touchdown, and he gets the win for the Rams, an important preseason victory. So that's my nomination. Set getting it done again, just a proven champion. Who they play against? Oh, the Chargers. Okay, so just a battle for LA. Set gets it done. They get a 1-point victory. I mean, you love to see that. Your backup quarterback, he can win them a big game.
Especially
if Stafford goes down.
Especially if
and
your
Jimmy G
quarterback
goes
is
down.
No, especially if your quarterback is
Well, I guess he's playing behind 4 people now. So
Yeah.
Stafford, Clones, and Jimmy G. But Set showed out well in the preseason. We're going to ride with Set because he's the man. And he's my official day 3 guy of the week nomination.
You want to hit your day 3 guy, guys?
I'll hit it, and I'll hit it for you, P, because I'm taking us down to Miami. I'm taking us down to South Beach to talk about Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State running back. The guy looked good, P. You think he looked good?
He looked really
Averaged
good.
5 yards a carry, 10 for 50, and an injury befalls Devon Achane. Do I hear a door opening for Ollie Gordon to get some real carries in this backfield?
And there's even a bigger door opening because Jalen Wright has looked bad.
I was going to get there next.
Yeah.
Ollie Gordon, downhill runner. The guy runs hard. He can be explosive if he gets in open space. Can catch the ball a little bit. We know McDaniels requires out of his running backs. I'd be encouraged, man. And if Achane's going to miss any time at all, running backs are kind of replaceable in the league. I'd be encouraged.
And I will say that from Jalen Wright, I mean, I'm a Tennessee fan, so, at Tennessee, he was my guy. Goes into the draft, runs a 4.38, but I don't see it. It might have just been a combine number. When I was watching the game, he's, he looks slow. I don't know what it is. But Ollie Gordon has a big door open for him.
Ollie Gordon was once the RB1 in that draft class. Once upon a time, you asked someone about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, that's RB1.
I mean, the guy was a stud.
In terms of a day 3 guy.
And in the NCAA 25, the guy was dominant. He had that little spin move.
Oklahoma
Besides
State.
the point.
Yeah. And if his actual play doesn't validate him.
But I think he's one day 3 guy that has a very realistic path to some serious playing time, and averaging 5 yards a carry is a great start.
I like
That's
I like that stat a lot.
Good nomination.
If mine doesn't win, I hope yours wins for my guy Ollie. So my guy was very flashy for the Commanders. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Bill, the big beautiful Bill.
The talk of Twitter right
The
now.
big beautiful Bill. He had 46 yards rushing, 4.2 per carry, long of 27 yards and a touchdown.
Wow.
The 27-yard run was beautiful, Bill. Big beautiful.
Shout out, Bill.
But I nominated him solely for the fantasy upside
Okay.
because I, as well as Ollie, see a very clear path for him to have a lot of playing time and be very dependable in this offense.
Okay.
Especially Brian Robinson
Yes.
trade rumors. If he goes out of there, you're relying on Eckler,
Mm-hmm.
who may or may not be referenced later, and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Debo.
Yeah, well, Fat Devo, I was going to say online and run jet sweeps, and I think we're just okay with that. Hey, Terry, because Devo, I think will be it.
That's good. Well, Matt, we've given you our nomination, Mr. Relevant. Who is our official day 3 guy of the week?
So you guys gave me some good players. One not so great. I love that stat, the 5 yards for 10 carries. I do think that might be where Ollie Gordon for the Finns. I think it's going to be important, especially with their QB play, to have a good rushing game. I don't know how their line is. I don't remember.
Our 2-0 line is not good.
Okay, so
James Daniels.
if they have a good O-line, or if y'all ones are good in the season, that's going to be important. I also do love, guy with already a Twitter name that already has people fired up about him. I think that's electric too. I think for sure Washington having that option in there is going to be important. You guys made it really hard for me.
Spencer Bennett had a great game and a game winner.
I'm gonna go. We go with Ollie Gordon.
Let's go with Ollie.
I'm gonna go with Ollie Gordon.
Congratulations to Ollie Gordon. He's the official second episode, day 3 guy of the week. So congratulations to Ollie Gordon,
To defense,
future friend of the pod.
future Dolphin playmaker.
Well,
Speaking of the future, here in the near future, we got college football.
college football is back. We are so excited. So let's talk about some college football. We got a few storylines entering the year. College football has definitely changed a lot in the last few years, and it's become a little bit top heavy, I would have to say. The new playoff does make it very exciting, though. Today we are going to go through our predictions of who we think the 12-team playoff is going to be, and who we think is going to emerge from that as your 2026 NCAA college football playoff champion. What do we want to talk about, guys? Who do we see earlier? JP, do you have talk about your balls?
I'll talk about my balls. I've got my blood here and everything. I wanted to go over what happened. Probably one of the biggest storylines of the summer and spring was Nico leaving. See ya, bud. If you don't want to be there, then I don't want to.
Explain the situation from the start.
Okay.
I want to see it from your perspective, how you kind of experience it.
I'll just tell you straight up what happened. So later on last season, Nico's dad went to our coach and was like, "Hey, you need to build better pieces around my son." So then we went to obviously we played Ohio State and got whooped by the national champs, which is go figure.
Whoops.
Everyone whooped.
There wasn't a lot of close games with Ohio State,
Yeah.
but. So then, after the season, I'm assuming a couple months after the season, Nico's dad started getting on the phone and was calling other teams like, "Hey, what do you want from my, how much can we make here?" Weighing his options about where his son could go. And he called Dan Lanning, Oregon, and Dan Lanning hung up the phone with Nico's dad / agent, who is one of his dad's buddies.
That always goes well when you have your dad.
Really well. Hangs up the phone with Nico's dad, picks up the phone, calls Josh Heisman, and is like, "Hey, your quarterback's dad is trying to pretty much see how much I would offer him to transfer." So one thing led to another. This caused a whole bunch of bad blood, and Nico transferred UCLA, which is where he's from. So, but I will say he's getting paid a lot less. We were paying him 2.4, I think. And he's getting paid 1.6 at UCLA. But also, there's a big difference between Tennessee taxes and California taxes.
Mm-hmm.
California taxes are way up.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the long run, he did make a good call. But when you get bad advice, it is what it is.
But did the balls get better?
I like Joey Aguilar. So pretty much what happened is we traded the first ever college football trade of Nico Yamaliava and Joey Aguilar, both from California, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, but Aguilar, I like him. He doesn't have to be anything amazing. He just has to hit the wide open guy, and if crap starts going wrong, scramble, get out of there.
Wide open?
Huh?
They're going to be wide open.
No, Nico would miss the wide open guy. He'd overthrow him by 10 yards. So I'm saying if the guy is wide open, just hit him. Someone should. But Joey Aguilar's story is really cool. He spent 2 years at a JUCO, went to App State, did what he did there, transferred after App State to UCLA for the spring, and then came to Tennessee after Nico got paid and all that jazz. But Joey Aguilar has picked up really quick. He transferred in late. I think there were 2 or 3 practices left this spring when he transferred. Might have been over. I don't remember. But so this first scrimmage of fall camp was a little shaky. just because but he picked it up quick. Because the other day I heard that he looked really good, and Josh Heupel named him as the starter. So Joey Aguilar, I'm on the Joey train.
Okay.
I'm on it. I really like him.
We'll see about the Vols this year. They have a pretty tough schedule with most of the SEC teams to do. I will see them as a playoff team.
Yeah, I will say that I think that we're going to have a top 5 defense in the nation. I really like the guys. I mean, obviously we lost James Pierce. We still have Jamal McCoy, the corner. He's hurt right now, but he'll be back. But I really like our defense, and defense wins championships. So
Very nice. Well, Gabe, your Nittany Lions are bringing back some firepower. Maybe one of the favorites preseason now, and you really can't say that often. They seem to be knocking on the door a lot as we get into every college football season. But could this be the year of the Nittany Lion?
it should be. I'll start with it should be. And that leads me to my first point. James Franklin, I mean, this is the year, bud. I mean, it's put up or shut up time. You've been way too mediocre for way too long, and you've underachieved with great rosters. Last year, just a disgusting loss to Notre Dame. I mean, I don't think we would have beat Ohio State in the championship, but there's no excuse for losing that game. But the Nittany Lions definitely have the star power to win it this year. I think Aller coming back, another year under his belt, looked a lot better last year. Unfortunately, the world saw his worst moment there in the playoff with the pick. I mean, that made me sick. And I was down on Aller for a while after that. But reevaluating, the guy was so much better, processed quicker, got the ball out, got the ball to Warren a lot because we can't recruit receiver. But that's another thing. The only good receiver recruit we've had in the last couple of years was KLS, and we see what he's doing with the Chargers. Had a great year with Auburn. But I'm excited. Katron coming back, Singleton coming back, O-line's getting more experience. So really excited about the offensive side of the ball, and Penn State's defense. It's always going to be good. Edge rushers look strong. We lost, obviously, Abdul. We lost Winston in the secondary. So lost some pieces, but replaced well. They should be good. I have them winning, of course.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Spoiler.
Do we think that they'll win the Big Ten? Do we think that they're going to go undefeated? What are we thinking?
I think if they don't, something went very wrong. If you can't beat Julian Sand and this Ohio State team this year, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. This is the year. It's a great team. But the best college football teams, in my opinion, are the ones that have guys that are coming back and they have that experience and they all want to go get it. Just like Ohio State, they had all of those guys coming back and ran it back and they went and got it done. I think that's Penn State this year. And I think Sand's going to be good, but there's no excuse for you to lose that game, in my opinion. And that's the only real test on their schedule outside of Oregon. And even if they drop that one, I think they still can win the Big Ten. So
Good. I mean, is this the end of James Franklin if they don't get it done this year?
no, it's not. Because similar to the Steelers, Penn State's very loyal to their coaches. And Franklin has been a good coach and a decent recruiter. He's done well with what he has, except for the last couple of years. But I think if he, at worst, it's going to be another 10-2 season, and I don't think that's bad enough for them. Now, if he goes to 3 or 4 losses, it's got to be. Because this team's way too good for 3 or 4 losses. So I think he's safe just because his team is so good and the schedule's so easy.
Yeah.
Y'all have a two-headed monster at running
Oh,
back.
absolutely. I mean, Katron and Singleton were both guys that we anticipated going to the draft this next year.
Yeah.
Decided to run it back. I mean, you would think at least one of them would have gone. Both are coming back. Absolute monsters, man. I mean, Singleton probably going to get the lion's share of the carries, but Katron's the ultimate 1-2 punch.
Granted, probably a smart choice on their half because that was a stacked running back.
Stacked running back class, and you come back and you got a chance to win a national championship.
I agree.
You can, and you're trying to replicate what Ohio State did with Travion and Quinton.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the most optimistic I've ever been about the Penn State backfield, except for obviously when Saquon was there.
Yeah. Interesting point about the coach situation. He's saying Franklin maybe a 10-2 season when we were going to be firing. I had an interesting conversation with my father. We call him
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Day 3 dad, Chuck Spiros. He's saying, a bold prediction, I just want to put this on the pod. Alabama, if they have a down year this year, he thinks DeBoer is out of there, and he thinks John Gruden is in.
Holy
wow!
I mean,
That's
you never want to be the guy that follows the guy. You want to be the guy that follows the guy that follows the guy.
Yeah. If you want to talk about, how to get some more headlines and touch the loose you bring in, honestly, Nick Saban is going to go down as the good college football coach. But he wasn't when he was going in there. John Gruden's arguably a bigger name higher at the time.
100%.
But Nick Saban was coming from LSU, so this is all hypothetical, but I thought that was interesting. That's pretty good take, and I can see it, Frank. Bama,
Yeah.
who has tons of
They're not
talent.
sure.
No, honestly, not like 9-3 for Bama. That's like 1-11.
Well, and after you lose a guy like Saban, every guy after that is going to seem extremely replaceable.
Mhm.
So what they threw the door out? Like they just shot him the next guy in line. It's not gonna, they're not even going to get to what Saban was. So
And another guy's not going to come in there and fill the Saban.
No.
Gruden, I'm not saying he's going to be Saban, but I mean,
No.
NFL experience has done it at all levels. Can command a room.
Yeah. You
You
want to
wanna
talk
talk
about
about
the
emo
college guys? John Gruden, if you watch those freaking, he's fired.
He's
I can't imagine being in the room.
And I'd be excited if I was a Bama fan.
oh yeah.
But we still got a long season before that.
We
If I was a Bama fan and I got Gruden, I'd be feeling.
All right, we're going to see what they have in store so far, and then they still be a contender. Alabama should be pretty good this year. Matt, what about the ACC? What are we thinking from a team that has a new quarterback that went from the SEC? I don't think plays very good, and then found his way getting an absolute bag to go to the ACC and replace the number 1 pick in the draft. What are the expectations for the Miami Hurricanes this year?
So the Miami Hurricanes, last season we had probably the opportunity of a lifetime to kind of go to the college football playoff and actually do something for once. But per usual, there's always one key missing factor, and it was our defense. If we had a competent defense, we would have been in that conversation. But because we had a bad DC, and because apparently nobody wanted to tackle, and we had to let up points against ACC opponents that we should have trampled on. We didn't make it in, and SMU and Clemson ended up making it in. But we've made changes. We just hired a new defensive coordinator from Minnesota, Corey Heatherman. Yeah, Minnesota. So we're excited about that.
Did you put in the word for him?
Me and Mario, we had a conversation.
Max Rosner. Long time.
So our defense was obviously the biggest thing that we needed to overhaul after our season last year, and I feel like coming into this year with Beck, I would feel hypocritical by saying that I'm excited about him. I really did talk a lot of smack about him last season when he was at Georgia. And I feel like for me to now turn around and say that he's the coming savior of our program would be hypocritical. So I'm not going to say that for now. I'm interested. I'm not excited. I'm just interested to see how he does in the offense. I think we're taking a step back. I think most people would say that.
A quarterback?
Yeah. So like a big step back. But I would say that shifting the focus now to more run-heavy offense is going to be really important because we got guys like Kyle Fletcher and then we have as well Jordan Lyle and Jamar Brown. Really excited about that. And we have a great old line with Annette Cooper, Francis Malandoa, and Markel Bell. So those are veterans, and those are will be guys that will get drafted, in my opinion. But yeah, we lost some receivers. We lost George Brown and Isaiah Restrepo. Isaiah Horton. Yeah, Isaiah Horton. We lost Elijah Arroyo. So we got Elijah Lofton filling in for Arroyo now. He's played all games last year. And we're kind of viewing him as kind of a Swiss Army knife, kind of in that role.
So do we think that they're going to beat Notre Dame?
So this is where I was going to get to.
No.
Well, a lot of people say no.
No.
But interesting fact: Notre Dame has gone to Miami 6 times, and they've lost all 6 times. So
Some would say they're due.
they could be due, but
Do you think so?
Could be due.
couldn't be Duke. I disagree. I think we have Notre Dame's number. I think we've had it for a long time. Convicts versus Catholics. I think the Convicts win that one. So I'm excited. I'm the only team I'm worried about in that conference is Clemson. I think that with our schedule, it really does come down to those last few games. We have always been a team that can get to those 9 wins, and this happened in 2016. Same thing. We win all our first 9 games. We're ranked in the top 10 or top 8 in the country, and then we fall on week 10, and then we go to the the conference championship game. We lose that, and then we miss out on the playoffs. So hopefully, endless misery in Miami. But I see a future with Cristobal, so I'm excited. He's a good recruiter, he's a good coach, and he's making changes that we need desperately. So
I like it. Why don't you kick us off for our top 12, our college football playoff predictions,
okay,
your Final Four, and then your national champion, and then who gets your Heisman Trophy? Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Lead us off.
So my Final Four is going to be Texas, and this is very basic, but I think it's been pretty scratched. I think everyone would say that, considering the new format. I'm saying Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State are my Final Four.
Okay, and who's your championship and your winner?
My championship is going to be Texas, Georgia, and Texas is going to come out.
Texas, arch name. And who's going to be your Heisman winner?
My Heisman is Lenore Sellers.
Lenore Sellers is
I think-
Heisman Trophy.
Wow. I think there's something going on.
Does Carolina make the playoff?
I think they're first out. Yeah.
Yeah. Carolina's tough schedule. That SEC schedule is tough, and then they do have off with Clemson.
There's a lot of cannibalism in the SEC right now, and I feel like, if you're not, there are only a few of those big teams that are going to come out of there because you're constantly playing big opponents every week.
Yep.
And so it's going to be hard to come out there with an undefeated record. So
It's a dog world
It
down there
is.
in the SEC, ain't it?
it is.
Hey, what's your top 12 or your top 4, and then your champion and Heisman winner?
I'm not gonna lie, boys. I've been very locked into the NFL, and I'm obviously a Penn State homer. But I asked Chat. What Chat thought.
What is that?
So I'll run through what Chat thought. And it's actually verbatim what Matt's prediction.
I don't know
have
about
to
that. That's not a good sign.
be. We got Texas at number 1 according to ChatGPT. Georgia at 2. Ohio State at 3, and then Penn State at 4. Obviously, the only switch I'd make there is I'd put Penn State at 3. Even if we go undefeated or lose one game, I think because our schedule's so weak, we'll probably be a 3 or 4 seed. Just depending on what happens in the SEC. Obviously, teams could have 2 losses and still be really strong. Chat has the Texas Longhorns winning, just like you, man. How about that?
Funny.
Are we really?
But I genuinely do. Joe Klatt was talking about actually, and he picked Penn State as his preseason AP number 1. And he was explaining it, and he kind of compared Penn State to the Ohio State team, and that they have all the vets returning. Vibes are good, same coach. So I do think Penn State's going to win. I hope Penn State's going to win. But that would be my pick if I was going to say this. Yeah, Penn State.
Who's your Heisman winner?
My Heisman winner is Garrett the Nuss Bus Nussmeier from LSU. And my reasoning, that LSU offense has produced some pretty good quarterbacks over the time there. I think Nussmeier's just the latest in that line. I would love if the Steelers get him in the draft if the guy puts together a good year. He's got all the tools, got some good weapons out wide. I don't think LSU's going to be very good, unfortunately. But I think Nussmeier's going to have a great year, kind of like Jaden did when he won the Heisman. They weren't very good, but their offense was fantastic. So
They have a good track record of bringing out those quarterbacks.
I do. So I'm going to go with the Nuss Bus.
Well, interesting. P-Man, what you got?
I would like to throw out that the Vols in mine would make it.
Just give us your top 12. I feel like that you maybe didn't ask chat.
Yeah, I had chat build the code for it. No. I did it.
I didn't ask chat.
I made it's format. Yeah, I did the graphic.
Okay.
I put all the
We're
good.
I'm curious.
So I actually have 2 teams from Tennessee making it. The Memphis Tigers are in at the 12. Give me the Tigers. So we have Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, top 4. I mean, Then Georgia at 5, Oregon 6, LSU 7, Notre 8, Tennessee 9, Miami 10,
Wow.
Texas Tech 11,
Wow. Red Raiders.
and then Memphis 12.
No Baylor?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same upstairs.
I've seen some.
I know a team that's going to be the Bears.
Oh.
We're going into Waco. We're going to take down the Baylor Bears.
Anyway, after that 12, the top 4 is Texas, Penn State, Oregon, and Clemson. I have always said that if there was a way that Ohio State and Penn State could lose, that I wish that would be the case. Because I don't like James Franklin just because it's not banned. Nothing against, you have a great team. James Franklin can't stand it.
A true SEC fan hates on every other conference religiously.
Just because of what I was
Because the Big Ten is better than the SEC.
No, just because of what I saw James Franklin's Commodores do to my Tennessee Volunteers in person, and hear that stupid boat horn go off in Nashville, Tennessee. Anyway, semifinals, we have Texas, Penn State, Oregon, and Clemson. Texas and Clemson in the Natty, and Texas taking it home. My Heisman pick is Cade Klubnik. He knows how to coach the quarterback position. Cade Klubnik's first ever game starting was against the Tennessee Vols in 2022 in the Orange Bowl. He looked terrible, but that was 3 years ago. Give him the Heisman.
I love it. I think Cade's going to have a great year. And I think that Clemson team is going to be a force this year. I think they're going to get it done in week
Also
one.
could be a future Steeler.
You could. I think I'm going to go into my top 12. I love college football just as much as I love the NFL as well. I'm going to give my top 12 as well. I have a few points. I want to touch on a few of the teams as well. So my top 12, I do have the Ohio State Buckeyes as my 1 seed. I do think that they are going to emerge again as the Big Ten champs. The team reloaded, they just are filled with talent. I do think they're going to win week 1 against Texas. That might be a hot take. But I think they're going to spoil the Arch season debut, I guess, and get it done. And I do think they're going to roll. They have a pretty relatively, they have Penn State on the schedule. They have Illinois, who I think is going to be pretty good too. And I have them losing to Michigan again. I think that's the one team that's going to clip them before the college football playoffs. So they're my 1 seed. I have the Texas Longhorns as the 2. I do think they're going to be SEC champions. I do think they're going to lose to both Ohio State and Georgia in the regular season, but then find a way to get it done in the SEC championship. My 3 seed is the Clemson Tigers, but I think they're going to be an absolute force. I think that they're going to win the ACC, and I do think that they're going to get upset in a last-ditch effort by the South Carolina Gamecocks on the last week of the year. So I have them at 12-1. My 4th seed is the Georgia Bulldogs, who I think will be the SEC runner-up this year. I have them with a few tough losses to Alabama in the regular season and then the SEC championship, but that team has a really hard schedule. But I do think they're going to emerge as a top 5 seed. That team has a ton of talent, a lot of underrated talent. I think a lot of people are writing off the Georgia Bulldogs this year, but they're going to bring it. My 5 seeds to Penn State and the Lions. I do think that they're going to be great this year. I have them losing twice to Ohio State. I think they're going to lose both the regular season and Big Ten championship.
Hard to argue against.
It's going to be hard to deny. That Penn State team is really good, but they just can't seem to get over that hump of Ohio State. My 6th seed is the Baylor Bears, who Matt did mention. I have them as an upset pick to win the Big 12. The Big 12 does not have a clear favorite this year. I have 2 Big 12 teams getting into the playoff, but I think Baylor may lose week 1 to Auburn. I think Auburn's going to get in a lot of trouble. But then I have them getting hot and running the table until they get into the playoff. But not before their only loss is to my other Big 12 team, the Utah Utes, in a complete season turnaround. Utah was under 500 last year. And a lot of people wrote them off. A lot of people thought Cam Rising was going to come in. He was, 29 years old now?
Yeah, how long until he gets another year?
I think he's still on the roster, but he will not be the starting quarterback.
Is this post-Cam Rising clarity?
It might be. But the Utah Utes continue to be a force with the amount of talent that they have, and their offensive line is stacked. They have a bunch of guys that will go high in the draft next year. But they bring in a transfer quarterback, and what's his name again? Devon Gambier from UNLV, a really good running quarterback. And Utah lost a lot of games last year. They lost 7 to be exact, but 6 of those were one-score losses. So that team may have had the worst mojo. last year, but they're going to have some good mojo this year. I have them losing their only game in the Big 12 championship and making the playoff nonetheless. I have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as my 8th seed. I do think they're going to win week 1. They're going to beat the Miami Hurricanes. And I think that they are going to find a way to choke one game throughout the year because that's classic Notre Dame. Lose a game they're not supposed to, but I do think they're going to sneak in, even with a new quarterback and CJ Carr replacing Riley Leonard. We'll see how that goes. I have Oregon getting in. Oregon has a pretty easy schedule. I don't think this is as strong of an Oregon team as there is last year. And we'll see if Dante Moore is as good as Dylan Gabriel. Do we think he's going to be as good as Dylan Gabriel? He wasn't very good at UCLA, and that's why I think. I don't know.
I like him.
You like him?
I think he's got upside.
We'll see. I'm not that high on Oregon. I do think they'll get in the playoff just because of circumstance and because their schedule just kind of permits it. But I have them sneaking in, and I do think that they will lose in the playoff. I have Illinois getting in the playoff, another Big Ten team. I think Illinois, with Lou Altmaier quarterback, trending in the right direction last year, especially ending the year. I think they went 10-2 last year, if I'm not mistaken. The 16 starters returning, that's pretty intriguing. I have a lot of guys coming back that have played together for a while. Pretty easy schedule this year, aside from Ohio State, who I have them as their only loss. And they also play Indiana, who kind of a question mark this year. We'll see if Indiana can remain at the top like they did. They got hot last year. I have the Crimson Tide sneaking in as the 11th seed. I think DeWar does find a way to get them in there with all that talent. But I do think they're going to lose a few SEC games in the regular season. And then my group of 5 pick is the Tulane. What's that?
Green Wave.
The Green Wave. The Tulane Green Wave are going to get in as my 12th seed. They have Jake Retzloff at quarterback. You can say it.
We love BYG.
BYG.
When it comes down to freaking December,
Yeah.
he slings it. I'm not going to say why, but he plays really well in December.
Whoa. You're not going to say why. What does that mean?
It's Hanukkah season.
Oh.
He plays really good during Hanukkah.
I mean, he gets fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, he really brought it to that BYU team last year and then had some controversies. He had to get out of there, but he transferred to a Tulane team that has been trending upwards for a number of years now. And they finally get their quarterback. And I don't see another group of 5 team that really catches my eye. I don't think Boise State's going to be the same without Genty. And maybe the Memphis Tigers emerge. I do think the AAC is the strongest conference in the group of 5. So we'll see how that comes out. But that was my 12-team playoffs. My Final Four, it does come down to a lot of big teams. I have the Georgia Bulldogs in my Final Four. I do think that they're going to make it there. I have them playing against Notre Dame emerging. I think Notre Dame's running game is going to be really good. And I also think that they will get a positive draw in the playoff per my rankings. I have the Clemson Tigers facing the Texas Longhorns as my other Final Four game. It seems to be a popular pick. But I do have Clemson beating Texas. Texas will not be my champion. I also have the Georgia Bulldogs beating Notre Dame. And I really don't have a clear favorite this year as to what team I think is just way better than everybody else. So I'm going to have to go with Day 3 Dad's alma mater. The Georgia Bulldogs are going to pull out a second national championship in the last 5 years with Gunnar Stockton at the helm. A lot of underrated pieces. Doesn't seem to be a popular pick. But the Dogs, I'm rolling with the Dogs this year. Maybe a little bit contrarian in that. And I do have Lamar Sellers as my Heisman Trophy winner. I do think the South Carolina Gamecocks are going to just miss the playoff. He's going to get that Heisman.
I do have one question though. Is this assuming that all the Georgia players that have ongoing investigations?
And on to the next.
Well, Georgia will hopefully not get in trouble with the law too much this year. That seems to be something that is hard, but we're going to hope that the Dogs are going to be able to pull it together. Kirby, best coach in college football currently, is going to get another national championship to add to his, I guess, smaller collection. But I mean, I guess bigger if you count the bad ones. But yeah, that's all for my college football. That might have been a lot. I was really excited about that segment. So, anything else on college football before we move on, guys?
We're good.
Drop your predictions.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. I mean, we got a freaking great slate of games starting next Saturday. We will be picking those next week. And that would be in our Beta segment of the week. We will not be having that this week. That will start next week. Once again, What do we not condone?
We do not condone preseason gambling. Of course, don't do
Call
it.
the hotline if you're betting on preseason.
Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem, please.
Yes, we'll start that next week. We'll be going over those week 1 games. We'll be going over some college football week 1 games. So tune back in next week for the first Who's the Better Bet of the week. And we'll see who has the best season long track record picking those games.
And we're also going to be doing our fantasy plays of the week.
We will.
Under the radar guys, waiver wire guys, and players we just think are going to pop off that week. So good transition. Let's talk about some fantasy players that we think
Yes,
are going to have some good years. JP, why don't you start us with a quarterback you are higher on than most, and why?
See, first off, there's a reason that he went number 1. Cam Ward is my guy. But I would just like to say that there's not been a lot of talk about him. Madden is putting him off. They rated him as a 72 overall. Is the number 1 pick.
71.
It was 71, 72.
He was below Cam Scott.
He was below Jack Sawyer. I mean,
That's
all-time
insane.
game match from
It's
Madden.
insane.
Is that
And he's-
quarterback tax? I mean,
And he's up there leading the team. You saw that picture of him standing around, like, leading
I
everybody?
hear he's fighting people in
Yeah,
practice.
he's getting there at 5 a.m. He only talks to his parents and his dog. I mean,
And he did not care about the Will Levis.
oh, he did
no,
not.
yes, absolutely not. It's his time in Nash Vegas, but we just haven't talked about him, and I just wanted to throw him out there. I'm not saying that he will be the starter on my fantasy team, but if I stash him and if he pops off later, good for me.
Do you think it's possible he can score a lot even with that receiving core? I don't think he has a whole lot of weapons to work with.
He doesn't. He has. Calvin will be his go-to guy. I also think Gunner will be big for him. Gunner Helm, the tight end from Texas.
Dare I say, Iron Man's going to have a really
I agree.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also, they're going to be trailing in a lot of
That's
games.
true. They are.
Throwing great for fantasy. We love the garbage time. So I think
He's going to be airing it out.
Yes. Well, Matt, who do you? I mean, I'm looking at this right now.
So-
cannot wait for you to explain why this is your pick.
Well, okay. Looking back on it, originally I said Daniel Jones. Coming out of the news,
of all people.
okay. My thought process there was he gets the start now in Indianapolis. The division isn't very strong. I would never say that this is a guy that you should go and get. This is a guy that you will, no. But
Why are we taking him?
But I would say that kind of to modify a little bit what I picked. I would say,
We're gonna modify it?
yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
fine.
not set in stone.
Audible.
I mean, honestly,
that's what a good quarterback does.
Daniel has as big as you can.
I will go in that same division. I'll say Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Why should I absolutely hate it?
You hate it?
I don't hate it, but explain why.
Well, because now in Jacksonville you got Travis, and that division isn't strong. I mean, you're gonna come out and they're gonna win. They're gonna win some games for sure. And I don't really have anything more to say.
Well,
on
I'll say the Trevor Lawrence pick. I don't mind it. I think Trevor's actually in a really good situation this year, having an OC that's offensive minded. That really made Baker Mayfield look really good last year. I mean, I guess it was. But you also get pass catchers that we talked about this maybe last episode, maybe we didn't. But Jackson now has a lot of bigger receivers to work with. That Trevor Lawrence worked with in college. He's found a lot of success throwing to bigger targets. So got a lot of those little guys out there like Christian Kirk, and replace them with guys that can really go up and snag it like Travis Hunter, and you already have BTJ there. So I don't think that big at all. I think Trevor Lawrence, this is a make or break year for him. So
Oh yeah, I think it's a make or break year.
will you be drafting him on your hands?
No, of course not.
Well, then what is it?
Quarterback's hard, honestly, because I feel like these are I feel like guys that you don't want to. It's advice for the next season. I understand, but these are like lower level guys that are higher than those. So
If I was going to play quick devil's advocate for Daniel Jones, Steichen quarterbacks have traditionally done very well in fantasy. AR obviously runs a lot. Flacco, when he was in there for the
He did.
Steelers, was dominant.
He did.
throwing for over 300 yards, 3 tuds.
Lots of weapons.
And Daniel Jones, I mean, we've all seen the clip of
He
him.
can tote that.
He can tote it, man.
Please
He can tote it. And if anyone's going to get the best out of Daniel Jones working with KOC and then in Indy,
So
Maybe it translates. Maybe
I'm saying strictly fantasy-wise, maybe it's not the worst option.
I don't hate it.
maybe.
Maybe you should.
He's got weapons.
Maybe he's got a lot of weapons.
Battle, maybe. Should check down when I didn't get to.
It's all good.
All right.
Well, I have a guy, I could touch on multiple, but I'm just going to touch on one. A guy that I think is going to be a good fantasy option, and maybe not because of his play style, but more so because of his situation, is the Bake Show, who we did allude to earlier, in Tampa. Baker Mayfield, and he's being typed as trash on our doc. That's crazy. Well, Baker Mayfield, Tampa's going to be really good this year. Tampa has a ton of really good weapons. If they can get Chris Godwin healthy, they're going to have, and Jalen McMillan, I guess, healthy as well. They're going to have Mike Evans out wide. They added Emeka Egbuka. Jeez, that's a name. But I think Baker's going to have a really good year. I think he's going to actually knock on the door for an MVP season, depending on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers success. And Baker can run the ball, too. I just think that team's going to be slinging it. They were slinging it last year. And Baker's one of those guys that, he can throw for 300 yards, and you don't even realize it just because of the weaponry that they have. They'll be dumping it out of the backfield to Bucky Irvin. But really excited for Baker. We'll see what he does with the new offensive coordinator. And my other guy was going to be Drake May, but I've already talked about Drake May, so we're just going to leave that be. But Drake, he runs the ball too. Baby Josh Allen. The Patriots are a good offense this year, and Drake can be a good pick. So go ahead.
Speaking of running quarterbacks, I mean, let's talk about the ultimate running quarterback. Justin Fields, former Steeler.
Yeah.
A lot of love there. I know I was down on the Jets, but that's just another reason that I think Jay Fields is going to be a productive fantasy quarterback. They're going to be down. They're going to be throwing. And when they have to throw, it's going to open up lanes for him to scramble. I think he's going to voucher a ton of carries in that backfield. I mean, the guy can fly. I think Glenn knows what he's getting with Fields, and I think he knows that he can treat him, kind of like Lamar was earlier in his career, where he was running a lot more. And I think Fields can fill that role. They got a promising O-line. I know I talked glibly of it earlier. But the guy's just going to get a ton of carries, ton of goal line stuff. I think he's going to be productive.
Definitely a safe floor for a guy that can probably run for 50 yards and a touchdown without even, thinking twice about
We're
it.
talking about 11 points.
Well, maybe not as many touchdowns, but
We'll see.
we'll see. We'll see how many times they get in the red zone.
Wouldn't want to be at Brees Hall right now.
No. Well, let's transition to running backs.
Yeah, switching to running backs, my guy is Chase Brown.
Ooh.
And the only reason that I'm picking him is because last year during our fantasy draft, we were laughing at the person who picked Chase Brown. But now his average draft position is in the second round.
It is.
I mean,
That was me that drafted him, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
It
I
was
traded him.
Fred.
But I would like to say how up he is. I mean, he's the one. Obviously, they have a loaded offense. You got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, absolutely freaking loaded. But if Burrow doesn't have anywhere to throw the ball, check it down to Chase Brown. Let him get some yards.
I mean, everybody's getting paid in that offense. Why not have his own?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The jet was great at the end of the
No,
and not only catching the ball, but running downhill. The guy was really good.
Yeah. So that's my guy, Matt. Who you got?
Well, do you have a guy that you would like at running back?
Oh, I got a guy. I got more than a guy.
Oh.
I got angry runner of the year last year, Jalen Warren.
Is that an award?
It is. We know Kyle Brandt. I mean, possible friend of the podcast, Kyle Brandt. Angry runs, doesn't have a segment. It's okay. Anyways, I think a lot of people think that Caleb Johnson is going to steal all the carries in that backfield. We're forgetting Jalen Warren averaged 4.9 yards per carry last year.
Jalen Warren's that guy.
The guy is great out of the backfield catching the ball. I mean, if you're in PPR leagues, that's awesome right there. And he's productive. He just does things when he gets the ball. So I think he's going to probably end up getting about 55-60% of the carries in that backfield. And I think when he gets them, it's going to be very productive. So I'm higher on Jalen Warren than I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, I can see him like in that what the role we imagine Dragon Henderson's going to get in New England, but you get him at probably around 8 or 9.
Oh yeah, and I think he'll get as many carries as Ramondre.
Yeah, I think he's going to go like carry probably at least double digit touches per game, and then he seems to do a lot with this. I like that pick. I'm going to go with a guy that's probably being drafted a little bit higher than Jalen Warren. I'm going with Josh Jacobs in Green Bay. Josh Jacobs on his championship winning team last year, as was my other nomination, Alvin Kamara. 2 older guys, I guess, in today's running back age. 2 studs, nonetheless, 2 guys that just produce year in and year out. Starting with Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, that's going to be a really good team this year. That's going to be a team that just stays true to what they do. I don't think they're going to make Jordan Love do too much. I think they're going to feed Josh Jacobs. They found a lot of success in doing that towards the back half of the season, and that helped a lot of the fantasy owners, including myself. He was just putting up numbers, man. Just putting up numbers. He's going to get a lot of touchdowns this year, and I expect that's not only a high ceiling play, but I think a high floor play as well, barring any injuries. And a Green Bay offense that's going to produce because it's a good team and they're going to be up in a lot of games as well. Now, for a guy that's not going to be up in a lot of games, that'll be Alvin Kamara with the Saints. But AK is still here to stay. Extended for 2 years. He's still the Saints' main way of moving the rock. He's a ball.
It's crazy when you use it more.
Yeah, well, AK, he's shown in the league, and I don't really have to really say much about Alvin Kamara, but I still think they're going to continue, especially with the quarterback, with Rattler or Shuck dumping that thing down because they're going to be under some pressure and probably not reading defenses as well as most of the quarterbacks in the league. I think he's still going to get his fair share of touches and be a very good fantasy contributor this year.
I like it.
Yeah.
Even though Shuck doesn't check down, he just goes for
He's
it.
going to have to learn to.
If he wants to stay the starter, AK is
And there really is not. I mean, Devin Neal, they got the draft, who I like, but I mean,
it's his back.
it's Alvin Kamara's back. He is one of the few running back situations in the league that it's pretty clear who the RB1 is.
I agree. Speaking of number 1 players at their position, P, why don't you talk to us about a tight end?
Yeah, so we're combining wide receiver and tight end. So just, ball catcher, Brock Bowers out here. I mean, I don't really honestly don't have to say anything. I mean, he's tight end 1. He's the best tight end in the league.
Could be future good.
Could be, I was going to say, could be very close, if not.
Respect to Gronk, but could be future good.
But Brock Bowers, I mean, catching it from Geno with Ashton Genty there, he's gonna probably have another year like he did last year, probably better, honestly.
Yeah.
So I mean, he'll be taken extremely high, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's just we had to bring it up.
Is he worth a first round selection? In a team, in a 14 man league, that's what I think.
Oh, in ours,
Is he worth a first round selection?
I feel like he could be like the very first, second, or second.
All right, that's a heck of it.
I don't think he's worthy of in a 14 man. I don't think he's worthy.
Who was the 14th pick in our draft? Who was the 15th pick in our draft? Are we giving out free fantasy advice? Mr. Irrelevant?
Oh no.
I think Brock Bowers is worthy of whatever pick it takes to get Brock Bowers. I mean, I seriously think it's going to be Brock, a large mountain-sized gap, and then tight end 2. So I'm really excited. I'd be excited to draft Brock Bowers just about anywhere. Matt, you want to tell us about a receiver I'm super excited about? I watched him cook my team on Saturday.
So I picked Amika Egbuka, and he obviously he's in a wide receiving core with Godwin and Evans. Obviously Evans is getting old, and the other one
That's my helmet.
and then
That's another 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I was about to say he's going to get another.
we'll see about the usage, and then Godwin's banged up, so we don't know about that, but he's NFL ready route runner, and there's gonna be high volume there with Baker. So I mean, there's PPR upside if he inherits Godwin's share.
I mean, they just breed wide receivers. I mean, it's crazy.
Are they the wide receiver you, or is
It's not.
LSU?
It's not. It's LSU.
Oh,
It's LSU.
over LSU?
The last couple of years, yeah. I'm going to LSU.
I mean, if we're watching star power.
I mean, the quality and quantity.
Who's the top receiver in the league right now?
From Ohio State?
No, like in the league.
Jones.
Okay, who's number 2?
Jamar. I'm going with the quantity and quality though. Garrett
I
Wilson,
think LSU
Marvin
is
Harrison,
smart,
Mecca,
but
Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I mean, you can go.
No, I think
Terry McLaurin. I mean, all these guys. OSU, and I think don't get me wrong, LSU's very close second, but I'm going with OSU, and that's without the monster that's coming out in a couple of years.
That's like the Jordan Mitchell run.
That's going to be the tank for Jeremiah.
Although I think Malik Neighbors and Jamar are a step above all.
Oh yeah, that's number 3.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Which is a good transition to who I think.
Yeah.
That's great. That's actually insane. My pick for a wide receiver, I'm higher on, and I mean, this is the guy that's going to go in the top 8, is Malik Neighbors. And the reason I'm higher on him the most, I think he's going to finish as the WR1 in fantasy this year. That's my bold prediction. I think Malik Neighbors will emerge as the number 1 receiver in fantasy. I think he has Rusty that's going to be feeding him that rock. I think the Giants are going to have way more success this year than they're normally accustomed to on the offensive side of the ball. As of recently, Malik Neighbors still found a way to be an awesome fantasy asset last year, despite that quarterback disaster room. And I think this year, I mean, even if Rusty decides he's not going to play good, you got James Winston going in there who absolutely swings that thing too, and made Jerry Jeudy an absolute fantasy stud at the end of the year for another fantasy champ. What a trade I made.
For 2 games.
What a trade I made. Wasn't added. But yeah, I think Malik Neighbors will be your WR1. I'm very high on him this year. And another guy I'm high on, and this correlates to your quarterback, is Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley, I think, falls in the same category as Terry McLaurin did last year, having a new rookie quarterback after not having really a quarterback in the years prior. I mean, he had Will Levis throwing to him, and then obviously in other teams he had different quarterbacks that just weren't really feeding Calvin Ridley. Now he's the clear WR1. He's going to get 4 shed targets, and he has a really good quarterback feeding him that rock. So I think he's going to have a good year.
I mean, the Matt Ryan disrespect there is
Matt Ryan was going to be
crazy.
And also
Calvin ate with Matt Ryan.
He did. So I think he's going to show out well again, and I think he's worth the pay in fantasy drafts, maybe higher than his ADP, because I think he has potential breakout candidate potential. So
I like that.
who you got there, Chief?
You mentioned Rusty.
I did.
Why don't I stay on the Giants and talk about a guy who's a little lower on draft boards, but I think has the upside of a guy that can be a solid wide receiver too.
Okay.
And that's Darius Slate.
Wow.
We talked about Rusty's moon ball. We saw Rusty's moon ball this weekend with the 80-yard dime to Bo Collins.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a taste of what Giants fans are going to get this year. And with the intention that I think Malik Neighbors is going to warrant from cornerbacks and safeties and, hedging over to help, I think Slayton's going to be a guy. He's a deep threat. I mean, he kills deep. I wanted him to be a Steeler last year. Still a little bit hurt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's going to be a field stretcher, and I think Rusty's just going to launch that pill to him.
I think he is.
I mean, one catch a game from him could be 10 points. So I think Slayton could be a steal. And then the ultimate gadget guy, the ultimate guy you hate to see if you have a tight end on this team, Jonnu Smith.
Ooh.
I would hate to be a Pat Freiermuth owner, and that's coming from a Steelers fan just because Jonnu is Arthur Smith's best friend.
I love
We
it.
happen to have a Falcons fan in the house that watched Jonnu Smith steal a lot of touchdowns from Bijan and Kyle Pitts. And I think Jonnu could do a similar thing in Pittsburgh. I think he's going to get – we saw tosses to him in camp where he's running out of the backfield. They said he can play slot receiver. They said he can play out wide. The guy's going to be on the field, and he's going to get touches. I know that for sure because he's a good player. I mean, we saw what he did in Miami. A lot of catches. Yeah. What do you have, like almost 600 yards?
He broke the record.
Yeah. I mean, the guy had a great year, and I think he's going to carve out a nice little role in Pittsburgh. So that's
a
my
good
pick.
one. It's a good one. Do we have any sleepers that we like? So anyone want to touch on there, P-Man?
Yeah, I've got a sleeper. VFL, Cedric Tillman. At the beginning of his NFL career, we didn't really know what his projection would be. But here in Cleveland, they have him as a wide receiver 2 right now behind Jeudy. So teams are going to be locked in on Jerry Jeudy trying to clamp him up. And Cedric Tillman has a lot of upside. I mean, whoever the quarterback is in Cleveland will be looking for Cedric Tillman. So
He played well last year.
He
He
did.
did. No one
He
did
did.
roll
I think he
it.
got hurt at the end.
Before that, I think he like.
But he also had James Winston throwing to him, so do you
Yeah.
think that the quarterback is a factor there?
I mean, I don't.
The lack of
I was going to say, I think Flacco plays pretty similar to Jameis. I mean, we remember when Flacco came in and won Comeback Player of the Year, he was throwing picks just as much as he was throwing touchdowns. And I think that's what Jameis does.
Absolutely.
So I think that's probably a good fit.
Interesting. Matt, what does ChatGPT have?
I did my research. I did ask Chat to give me a list of players, and I did pick out of them. So it wasn't fully Chat, but Ricky Pearsall from the 49ers. Pearsall. Did I say that right?
Go ahead.
What was the all-time hate watch? Right?
What was the
I'm just appalled by what I'm looking at.
what is the right way to say it?
Ricky Pearsall.
Pearsall. Okay. Well,
Gator.
so yeah, I mean, obviously you have Ayuk and Devo there, but
Juwan Jennings, former VFL.
Who wants a new contract insert?
Well, so wide receiver 2 now, and now I mean, obviously has a good relationship with Purdy, according to reports from camp. And so, yeah, he's going to fill into that role well. He's a good route runner. He's good hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do we think Rick's going to have a good role even after Ayuk comes back and if Jawan's there?
I think that's for him to seize. I mean, if he becomes a heavy target share guy early, I don't see why they wouldn't keep feeding it. If he's working, he does have a guy like CMC in that offense that's going to absolutely hoard a lot of targets, unfortunately. And we'll trade those away. But I do think Pearsall has potential. Some people are saying he could be Lad McConkey of this year, which, I mean, we'll see about it. I don't know if it quite is the same type of situation, but in the event those receivers are hurt, I think we're really good sleeper pick on that. Or Matt.
Who's your guy, Nick?
My guy's Pop Douglas. That's a homer pick as well. But Demario Douglas, to be exact, for those that aren't up to speed with that nickname. But Pop Douglas has been a really good player for the Patriots the last 2 years, playing out of the slot. He now goes to an offense, a Josh McDaniels system that loves to feed slot guys. Wouldn't you agree? You don't think so?
I'm sure Josh McDaniels and I had to laugh.
Josh McDaniels, a very, very well-known offensive coordinator who has produced a lot of good offenses. And I think Drake is going to feed Pop Douglas this year. He has been consistently the best receiver in camp for the Patriots. The most consistent, I should say. I'm not sure he'll be our WR1. I do think Stephon Diggs will be that. But the slot guy is utilized in the Patriot offense, and I think Pop is going to be a really good late-round sleeper pick for teams that need to take a chance on a guy. And he's produced even with a bad offense over the last few years. And I saw an interesting stat today. The wide receiver drafted by the Patriots within the last 15 years with the most fantasy points is
BB.
Braxton Berrios. Number 2 is Pop Douglas. Julian Edelman, he was drafted 16 years ago, so he would probably be 1. But that's just absolutely horrendous, pitiful stat. But just point out, Pop Douglas is already number 2 on that list. And I do think he could go up to number 1 for this year. So that is my official sleeper pick. Another guy that's going to be good is Roman Wilson, who you already touched on. I do think he's going to fill a big role in that Steelers offense. And we'll see. I think he's a good late-round flyer as well. Who's your sleeper pick? Did you have something?
No.
Who's your sleeper pick there?
I'm going to go with a blast from the past. Mr. Austin Eckler, Commanders running back. We talked about reasons why Bill could be a productive running back there in Washington. Why not the guy that's produced for a decade?
Why not?
I mean, he catches the ball.
He does.
He runs the ball. And they're going to need a guy that can step up in those moments, and I don't know if they're going to trust the undrafted, what is he, UDFA? 7th round pick. You got Austin Eckler there. I think we're overlooking him. I think we think that, Bill could come in and be RB1, but you got a guy that was a Pro Bowler, played really well last year, in a year that we expected him to fall off and be not productive. He catches the ball, like I said, and I think he's going to be productive in the backfield, and I think a lot of people are overlooking him, especially with the Brian Robinson stuff going on.
Now, mind you, Austin Eckler loves fantasy football.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you think Austin Eckler would draft Austin Eckler?
100%.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Exactly. I don't think it is at all.
You know? What if it's a lie around yourself?
Oh, yeah, I guess if it's a buy-in league, it might be.
How much are they going to price it? Is that just the NBA? That you get just banned?
That'd be cool.
And then you go to jail.
That's above my pay grade.
Roger, know if you're listening.
What Austin Eckler draft Austin Eckler? Yeah. All right, well, are there any newcomers that we think are going to...
Yeah, so newcomer,
Or maybe a rookie.
Rookie or just like new team.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with a rookie, highly drafted rookie, Tyler Warren.
We are.
I mean, him on the Colts, he's gonna get a lot of snaps, and he's gonna get targeted all the time.
Yes.
Now, I don't know between him and Colston Loveland who's gonna be better, but we'll see. That's what the season's for. But which one should have got drafted higher? I don't know. Well, speaking of Colston, did I hear Colston Loveland?
I'm high on Colston Loveland. I think he's a great white man. He's a great.
He's borderline.
We'll give him the
I
benefit
don't know
of
if
the
that was
doubt.
the right guy to say he's very white.
Might need an ancestry check on that, but we'll go
I don't
ahead.
have the family
We're gonna have
tree,
to fact
but
check that. It's Colston Loveland. Why? Go ahead. You just continue.
but yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of targets this season, and obviously highly drafted. And
Yes, Colston Loveland's white.
Nice. I would.
He's the son of Chad and Rachel at the sound.
Yeah, that checks out.
His hair's kind of crazy though.
I mean, you're encouraged.
He
after
did
the
rap.
preseason game,
Didn't he
though.
rap in the locker room or something?
I did not see that.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm not saying. You know
Um,
what?
but
He's
yeah,
from Idaho.
I mean, he's got size, and I think everybody in Chicago is excited about him, and I think he's a good tight end. So,
Safe pick taking those Chicago Bears.
Size, speed, Ben Johnson,
And he's drafted high as
better
a guy. They're going to use him.
and we saw that he's going to get targets. I mean, I think that's a good pick, man.
Well, my newcomer is not a rookie. He's actually a guy that was getting hated on earlier, and also got mistaken for what team he's on. We got a lot. But Deebo Samuel is actually a Washington Commander this year, and I think he has a really great opportunity to get a ton of touches this year. I mean, we're talking about Bill.
Touches on.
I mean, I'm not going to hate on Bill, but let's pump the brakes on Bill a little bit because Bill hasn't even taken a real NFL snap yet. 7th round rookie. Austin Eckler is, dare I say, a little washed.
And Debo's not.
And but let's hear me out. Ryan Robinson's going to be out of there. Debo has shown that he's going to take some carries, and Terry McLaurin wants out too if he gets traded. It's all Debo. They acquired Debo to help Jaden Daniels out. Sorry, I'm talking about NBA right now. But Debo Samuel's going to get a lot of opportunities to get the ball. And they're going to use him as a gadget guy. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, I watched the clips in preseason. I think he looks a little bit faster than he did last year. Maybe he shed a little bit of that weight. Maybe he's going to beat the allegations this year. And I think he has really good potential to be a big contributor in Washington. So that is my newcomer pick. I think he could maybe get back to old Debo or a little bit closer than he was last year.
I disagree, but I am going to go to my guy. I'm going to stick in NFC North, Matt. I know you mentioned Colston Loveland. I'm going to go with one of his counterparts, Luther Burden. I just watched this guy dominate in the preseason. Ryan Poles quoted as saying he could be better than Rome and DJ Moore.
How I would say that.
That is a great question. But if the GM is saying it and the coach is using him the way that he is, I think he's going to be an absolute monster out of the slot. And I think he's going to garner a lot more touches than people realize. I'm a little bit lower on Rome and DJ this year.
Really?
Just because I think the way that Ben Johnson likes to use the middle of the field caters to a guy like Luther Burden out of the slot. I mean, we've seen what Amon-Ra does in Detroit, and I think Luther can kind of fill that role along with Colston Loveland. So I think Luther, especially at his ADP, which is pretty late for a guy with his talent, I think he's going to be an absolute steal.
I love that. We saw Keenan Allen even dominating last year. Washed Keenan Allen and
Fat Keenan Allen.
And now you get a guy like Ben Johnson coming in that loves to use that slot guy. And I think we're going to fill that role. I actually like that pick. But the Chicago Bears are getting a lot of love, and they actually have a really good.
A lot of weapons.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
mean, if they don't
of.
succeed,
It's
it's
a
just
big
going to
question mark is at quarterback. Can Caleb do it?
I mean, I think Caleb's going to have a good year.
There's no excuse for him not to.
He's in a great situation.
And I think you can hate on Caleb because his expectations are high, but I think he's in a great situation, like you said. Yeah, it's not this year. Then maybe you start to raise some questions, but he didn't even play very badly last year. I think he just obviously we thought he was going to take over the league. That team wasn't very good, and Flus wasn't exactly the answer.
No.
Leading. But I think it's time for our final segment.
Everyone's favorite segment, dare I say, the Is Mr. Irrelevant a Ball Knower of the Week question. Just to reiterate, all three of the Day 3 guys will be asking Mr. Irrelevant a question that I'd say about 75% of football fans would get. Recap of last week. Mr. Irrelevant went 5-1, absolutely shocking the Day 3 guys pod, and I gotta say, Matt, I'm proud.
Thank you. I appreciate
What a hot start.
Well, guys, especially after this podcast performance, I need these wins. I will say, I need something to come out of this podcast.
Do we think you're going to finish over 50% when the year's over?
I was gonna say that I think I'm pretty certain he won't do as good as last week.
You don't. Now, the rule is, in order for us to ask these questions, all three of the Day 3 guys must all be in agreement that we know these things and we get these questions right. Just to confirm that these questions aren't too crazy, because that would be a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, who would like to ask the first baller of the week question? Gabe, would you like to ask?
I would love to. And it's a question that I think most football fans would know. It's not easy.
Okay.
It is, what NFL team appeared in 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them?
I hate you. Or no, is it? No. Oh, I thought it was. No, it was the Bills. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Vikings.
But yeah, it was
Wow. Because I thought you said 4 Super Bowls and lost all of them, and I thought you were talking about the Vikings.
No, I wasn't going to do like that.
Oh, I know. Okay, the Bills, yes.
You got
Bills.
it.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I got to say,
I want to know a very quick answer. Was that the record for how quick the answer was?
That's gotta be.
I'll time it. But
I mean, first he said they hated you.
Yeah,
that was
Well, because I thought it was the Vikings, and I was like, whoa, like he's coming
I
at me.
hate the Vikings, not me.
No.
I mean, he has nothing to do with the Vikings.
Jeez,
All right.
man.
No. I'm thank you for the
Speaking
question.
of the Vikings, that goes as well for my question.
Go right ahead.
In 2020, a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings led the league in receiving yards. Who was that receiver? Don't overthink this one.
It's Jets.
Is that your final answer?
In 20. Well, no, he got. Oh no, he got drafted in. Oh my God! You said don't overthink it. Now I'm overthinking it.
He's overthinking it.
I thought Jets got drafted in 2021.
It could be Jones. I mean,
He's second guessing himself.
he's really second guessing.
I'm just gonna say Jets. I'm probably getting it wrong.
I feel like I should get my $5 because I knew he was going to say it.
We both.
The answer is have fun. Dig.
I may not have been a better fire on that.
It was.
That was.
Yikes. I mean, I hate to say it, but I just knew that was going to happen.
I mean, that's a tricky question.
Well, because I figured he was drafted out of the 2021.
Did you know that Stephon Diggs was Viking?
Yeah, of course. We dogged it. How would I not know about the Minnesota Miracle? I mean,
I gotta say, absolutely incredible that you got the Bills and didn't get that one.
I mean,
I just gotta say.
1-1 right now.
We are 1-1.
6-2 still.
is it bad that I was going to say Adam Thielen before Stephon Diggs?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I honestly would have respected that answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-1. This is for the marbles.
Before we get to it, there is a drastic difference between 6-3
yeah.
and 7-2.
There it
It's
is.
true. I dare I say it's one of the biggest differences. 3 or
But
2.
then we're going to the day 3 guys.
Yeah.
Oh, so
He got, we need to
get
get into some positive mojo before we get
Yeah.
so, which was the only question last week to get in. Was it true or false? Go ahead.
So, Super Bowl 49, the Patriots defeated the Seahawks.
Okay.
Who caught the game-winning pick for the New England Patriots?
Malcolm Butler.
Wow, very nice. I was gonna say I got that right. But I'm not gonna lie, we didn't know.
No, we didn't. But that was good. That was quick,
Very,
too.
very well done. I'm glad you respect a legendary play. One of the best plays in NFL history.
I would disagree, but you know.
Okay, well, is this guy a day 3 guy?
Or not.
Or not?
True or false?
It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, I mean,
So, I'll go first.
Please, I mean, just keep rattling them off.
I'm sticking with the hometown guy for you.
okay.
Alexander Madison.
Oh. That's a tough one right there.
Yikes. Where do you go to college? Is that allowed? Am I allowed to know where you went to school?
We're going to have to do a fact check.
I don't know where he went to college. Let's see what Alexander Madison's game. I did happen to guess this one.
Boise
Boise.
State.
Miniature Ashton.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Ashton
Ashton before Ashton.
Alexander Madison walked, so Ashton JT could run.
When did he get picked? Was he a day 3 guy? Was he one of us? Or was he not?
Who's not?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
He was not.
Wow.
He was the last pick of the 3rd round.
Wow. Great. Great question. Wow.
That brings me to. Would you like to or would you like to?
I'd love to go.
Oh, will you please go? 'Cause I have a good one.
I know. I apologize in advance if this is confusing, because it confused me.
Okay.
Rob Gronkowski. Is he a day 3 guy?
He was undrafted. Was he an undrafted free agent? So
Gronk?
No, he wasn't.
Big if he was undrafted free agent.
Didn't he get in trouble on draft night?
Probably. There's some other tight ends
Like-
that got in trouble later.
Like right after he got drafted, he got in trouble. Just throw that out there.
Someone put in
He's-
Jeopardy.
He is. I'm gonna say he's not a day 3 guy.
Correct.
Correct.
Rob Gronkowski was selected with the 42nd pick.
Patriots are Gronk. He fell asleep in the meeting room while Bill Belichick was interviewing him. Or actually, when he left the room, they returned to a sleeping Gronk. And they drafted him before his second pick.
And then he got in trouble immediately after getting drafted.
He did, and then he became the go-to tight end. So
Shout out to Gronk. I think the Pats guys are always confusing because almost all of them are day 3 guys.
All right, the final question of the ball mower of the week question. I was the only one to get you the day 3 guy last week, so I have one this week. This guy has been mentioned in the pod. Or I should say, was this guy a day 3 guy? Russie Wilson.
I was going to pick him.
Danger
I was
Russ.
going to pick him.
Was he a day 3 guy?
I remember the video of him getting drafted vividly too.
With the woman that tried to steal his money.
I think he was. No, he wasn't a day 3 guy.
That's your final answer.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Round 3, no?
Yes!
Russie!
I remember the video vividly.
Again?
Unreal.
You are beating the allegations.
I'm trying.
You know, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Wow. Is dominant.
What an open.
Now, some people say preseason doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't.
Oh, this is the regular season. I don't know what you're talking about. This is
This
real.
is preseason.
This is.
Just wait for the
You are earning more credibility, and that may not work.
See, you've earned more difficult questions.
Yes. I guess we're gonna see how it goes
Oh, boy.
in the next episode. Guys,
Well,
do you guys have anything else before we wrap this thing up? I mean, I love today's episode.
That was good.
What a great episode, guys. College football, fantasy football. Matt improved to 10-2 for the ball knower of the week segment. Here's what to expect next week. We're going to be going over the much anticipated NFL season. We're going to be giving our season-long NFL predictions. We're going to give our final thoughts on preseason. But check back in next week, and we'll see if Matt can improve his record even more at the end of episode 3.
We're going to be talking about the beta next week, too.
We will. We'll be introducing the beta segment officially. We'll be making some picks. Maybe trying to make a parlay, maybe a college football parlay. As we get into some big college football games next week, some top 10 matchups. I know we're all super excited about it. And that just means we're one step closer to NFL week.
Guys, get excited. Football's back.
Get excited.
Day 3 guys is in full swing.
The witching hours.
2025. Here we go.
We're here.
Here we go.
Let's ride.
We'll see you guys next time.